Julia Trubkina and Brandon Gibbs have been one of the most talked about couples from 90 Day Fiancé. Their story started out like a fairy tale: young love, a cross-continental romance, and the dream of starting a new life in America. But as we've all seen, that dream slowly started to crumble under the weight of family pressure, farm chores, and cultural clashes. What seemed like an innocent love story has turned into one of the most dramatic journeys in the 90 Day universe, with new reports suggesting Julia may have secretly destroyed Brandon's world and could even be forced to leave the United States. When Julia first came to Virginia from Russia, she imagined a new beginning filled with love and adventure. But instead of big city lights and freedom, she was met with Brandon's family farm, complete with livestock, endless chores, and two very involved parents. Brandon's mom, Betty, and his dad, Ron, quickly became key figures in their relationship, setting rules and boundaries that suffocated the couple from day one. Julia was not prepared for the reality of life on the farm. She went from being a city girl and dancer to waking up at dawn to feed pigs and shovel manure. For her, this was not the American dream she had envisioned. It didn't take long for resentment to build up. Fans remember her tearfully saying she felt more like a farmhand than a fiancé. And when Betty and Ron insisted on strict rules, like keeping separate bedrooms and taking birth control, Julia felt like she was losing all control over her own life. This tension didn't just hurt Julia. It also exposed how dependent Brandon was on his parents. His entire life revolved around the farm, and that dynamic became a huge point of contention. Julia made it clear she wasn't going to settle for that lifestyle. She told Brandon plainly, if he didn't stand up for her and make a change, she would leave. That ultimatum was the beginning of the end for Brandon's comfort zone. Julia wasn't just challenging the farm life. She was threatening to dismantle the foundation of everything Brandon had ever known. Brandon's world had always been safe, structured, and controlled by his parents. Julia came in and flipped that upside down. Fans often describe Julia as the one who destroyed Brandon's world, but in reality, she forced him to grow up. She made him question his reliance on his parents and face what life would look like without the safety net of the family farm. She essentially broke down his old identity and forced him to rebuild from scratch. Eventually, Brandon and Julia moved out of the family home. That was a huge milestone, something many fans had been waiting for. Julia finally got the independence she had been fighting for. But independence came with new challenges. Bills, rent, and real-life responsibilities hit hard. Brandon had to work longer hours, and Julia struggled to adjust to American life outside of the farm structure. Their relationship started showing cracks again. Julia's homesickness grew, and her frustration with the U.S. lifestyle deepened. She hinted multiple times on social media that she missed Russia and was thinking about returning home. That fueled speculation that she might be preparing to leave America entirely. Reports also began to surface suggesting that Julia's immigration status might be uncertain. Some outlets claimed that she faced difficulties renewing her visa, especially if her marriage to Brandon was showing strain. Others hinted that Julia herself was considering leaving the country voluntarily, saying she never felt truly settled in the U.S. and missed her family and friends back home. Meanwhile, life on the Gibbs farm didn't stay peaceful either. Ron's health issues added new stress for the family, and Betty reportedly wanted Brandon and Julia to move back to help out. That sparked new rumors that the couple had returned to the farm despite Julia's long-standing objections. When Julia posted a video from what looked like the family property, fans immediately started speculating that they had caved under family pressure. If that's true, it would mean Julia's years of pushing for independence ended right back where they started, on the farm she once swore she'd never live on again. But others believe Julia's return might have been temporary, especially since she has been focused on her own goals, like her fitness and dance projects. Still, the tension between her and the Gibbs family seems to be alive and well. Julia has posted cryptic messages about betrayal and disappointment, while Brandon has appeared more withdrawn. Viewers have noted that Brandon seems torn, caught between his wife's need for independence and his parents' expectations that he stay loyal to the family. This conflict has reached a breaking point. Insiders close to the production claim that Julia and Brandon's disagreements have intensified to the point where Julia has talked seriously about leaving not only the farm but the U.S. altogether. She's reportedly told friends that she feels like she lost herself in America and that living with Brandon's family nearly destroyed her mental health. Some fans think Julia's decision to step back from the farm life was a form of self-preservation, but others see it as the move that broke Brandon. Without Julia, Brandon is left facing the harsh reality that his life may never return to what it once was. His parents are aging, the farm is struggling, and his marriage is hanging by a thread. In many ways, Julia's resistance to the farm life didn't just disrupt Brandon's lifestyle, it exposed deep emotional dependence that he had never confronted before. That's why many say she secretly destroyed him. She didn't ruin his life maliciously. She forced him to see that the version of life he was clinging to couldn't coexist with their marriage. Recent speculation suggests Julia has spent time outside the US, possibly visiting family in Russia. Some even believe she's considering staying there permanently if her situation with Brandon doesn't improve. That would mark a shocking full-circle moment, leaving behind the country she once dreamed of living in and the man she crossed oceans for. Meanwhile, Brandon seems caught in limbo. He continues to post occasionally about farm life, but the tone feels different, more subdued, more uncertain. If Julia truly decides to leave, he'll face losing both his partner and the life he thought they were building together. The story of Julia Trubkina and Brandon Gibbs is no longer just about cultural differences or meddling parents. It's about transformation and loss, the end of one chapter and the painful birth of another. Julia's defiance tore down the walls that kept Brandon comfortable, and in doing so, she set both of them on unpredictable paths. Whether Julia ends up back in Russia or finds a new life in the US without Brandon, one thing is certain. She's no longer the farm girl she was forced to become. And Brandon? He's left standing in the ruins of the world she destroyed, trying to figure out who he is without her holding his hand or his parents giving him direction. Their love story began on a farm, but it may end oceans apart. And if Julia really is gone for good, it won't just be the end of their marriage. It will be the end of the quiet, obedient Brandon Gibbs we once knew. Julia has had it when it comes to life on the farm with Brandon and his parents in rural Virginia. In this exclusive clip from Sunday's new episode of 90 Day Fiancé, 26-year-old Julia, who hails from Russia and moved to Dinwiddie, Virginia, to be with her fiancé. 27-year-old Brandon, whom she connected with online, can no longer tolerate living on the farm and doing the chores. Julia has had trouble adjusting to her new life since she isn't used to waking up early and is used to living the city life. And to top it off, she's been upset that Brandon's parents don't let the two sleep in the same room together while they are still unmarried. While Brandon has asked Julia to be patient, she's clearly over it. She tells cameras that she is tired of sneaking around with him and needs to move out immediately, and is completely done. Julia calls Brandon at work and loses her temper. "I hate this place," she tells him emphatically. "I'm dirty. I look like pig. I won't leave. I won't leave now. I don't want your parents to tell me I need go this, I need do that. I won't leave now. I not go to America to clean animals," she adds. "Brandon, I try but not working. Brandon, this make me crazy. This make me angry." While Brandon is shocked at Julia's sudden outburst, she threatens to leave him and go back to Russia if they don't move out of his parents' house immediately. "I won't leave now, Brandon. Not today, not after tomorrow now. If we not go Brandon, I go Russia. You understand this." ET spoke to Brandon and Julia last month, and she talked about her relationship with Brandon's mom, Betty, who some viewers have deemed as overly controlling. "We don't have bad relationship, we just have a relationship like mother-in-law and daughter," Julia explained. "This is not normal. I mean, it's not normal when children live with their parents. We're not best friends and we've never been best friends. I love my mother and I love Brandon's mother. But if we live together, I mean, explosion, because this is so hard. Two girls, same house, it never works." As for Brandon, he teased that Julia's temper will be shown more throughout the rest of the season. "You might see Julia explode," he said. "You might even see me have a reaction. In some ways, if you're part of 90 Day Fiancé and you don't have rumors flying around about you, you're doing something wrong." But when the trailer for Season 8 dropped and it appeared that Julia Trubkina was pregnant with fiancé Brandon Gibbs' baby, it started rumors even before we had really gotten to know the young couple. Now, people are wondering when the elusive scene with the pregnancy test comes and if there's any truth to it. Reality shows are known for getting you with the scenes which turn out to mean the opposite of what is presented in a preview. But with all of the emphasis put on Brandon and Julia's sex life, a surprise pregnancy wouldn't be the wildest thing to happen this season. At the end of the Season 8 premiere, a teaser that showed Julia and Brandon waiting on results from a home pregnancy test made it seem like she accidentally gets pregnant at some point. There's even an exchange between them where they talk about what 2 lines mean on a test. Typically, that means the pregnancy test is positive. But neither Brandon or Julia have been too forthcoming outside of the show to reveal what the scene means or when it comes this season. On Instagram, Julia did sort of address the rumors of being pregnant. She said in a live video that she had multiple fans asking the same question and promised it would be revealed on the show and only then would viewers know what happens. If the rumors are to be believed, it might explain Julia wearing an oversized bathrobe in a recent Instagram video advertising her Cameo account. And honestly, her lack of form-fitting clothes in general lately. It would come as little surprise to most if Julia is pregnant. She has been vocal about her refusal to use birth control and, apparently, Brandon isn't into condoms. Despite being forced to have separate bedrooms in Brandon's parents' house, there has likely been plenty of middle-of-the-night sneakiness to afford them time to inadvertently make a baby. Still, neither have confirmed as much so far. If Julia is pregnant this season, it may not be the best timing. She has become increasingly fed up with her responsibilities on the family farm, which Brandon had failed to relay to her before she moved to the United States. And with her ultimatum of them moving out of the house or else she'll move back to Russia, things are bound to get even more uncomfortable with Brandon's parents. You might say all of this could have been avoided had Brandon told her they wouldn't be sharing a bedroom. Or if he had at least hinted that she would be expected to help out with farm work. Then again, she didn't come to the US to be a farmhand. She came to start a life with Brandon, and right now, things aren't looking great between them. Julia's threats about leaving the US aren't necessarily in vain. She seems to truly mean what says when she warns Brandon that if he doesn't find them a new place to live alone, she plans to go home to Russia. While she hasn't revealed what happens after the season is over, Julia's Instagram is full of shots of her and Brandon at the family farm, meaning she may not leave. Unless those are old photos Julia hadn't shared until now, the pair might have been able to improve their relationship. It does seem like they're still together and that, somehow, Brandon worked things out between Julia and his parents. At least, let's hope that's the case. Julia Trubkina and Brandon Gibbs, stars of 90 Day Fiancé, are confronting more than just their differing opinions on having kids during the second season of 90 Day, The Last Resort. During this therapy section, actually, we have a lot more of what we are going to share. Julia, 31, shared in an interview with Us Weekly on December 5th. A lot more we had been hiding for all of these years, but we came for one problem. We were like, okay, it's only one problem that we have. No, we have a lot and not something like, we can fix this tomorrow. Everything will be perfect. No, they are so deep. Fans were first introduced to Julia and Brandon on Season 8 of 90 Day Fiancé, which aired between December 2020 and April 2021. Their journey included tying the knot in April 2020, with Julia later obtaining US citizenship. Although their love story appeared promising on screen, the couple has faced numerous challenges, including family-related conflicts and disagreements about their future. Their struggles were spotlighted during the December 2nd premiere of 90 Day, The Last Resort, where the pair revealed they were grappling with intimacy issues. This tension surfaced after Brandon expressed his desire to start a family. What Brandon means is like he wants a baby, Julia commented during a group exercise in the Arizona canyons. If you want and I don't want, then for what point are we together? Viewers can expect further developments in Episode 2, set to air on December 9th, as teased in a preview by popculture.com. Season 2's teaser also hints at allegations of infidelity, with Brandon accusing Julia of cheating. A heated exchange ensued, with Julia tearfully responding, "Now you bring this up?" as Brandon stormed out. The couple's relationship woes extend beyond intimacy and infidelity. Julia revealed that they'll be addressing long-standing issues involving her family. I mean, we're going to be talking about my family. Not only this is therapy when it's kind of like, we step away from Brandon's family, she told Us Weekly. We kind of let them stay back and trying to fix our relationship. But my family is kind of in our relationship and other stuff about kids is. Going to shock everybody. 90-Day Fiancé spoilers and updates tease that Julia Trubkina may be leaving America and Brandon Gibbs after her cryptic post on Instagram. Trubkina recently shared a photo of her in the airport on Instagram with the caption, "By America I go." This has stirred rumors that she's leaving the country and Brandon. Her co-star Jovi Diffrin also asked if she's going back to Russia. The reality star hasn't responded yet, so fans are left with no choice but to wait for further updates. Fans know that Trubkina has been struggling to get approved for a green card. If she doesn't manage to secure one, she and her husband Brandon Gibbs may need to return to Russia. Even though she's already married to a US citizen, it's still difficult to secure a green card. Unfortunately, Julia's husband revealed doesn't want to move back to Russia. She was shocked to learn about this in an interview. So, she decided that if she can't get her green card, then her marriage will be over. Later on, it was revealed that Julia didn't get her green card yet, but she was issued with a different type of card that allows her to stay in the country. It also lets her do the things that a US citizen can do, like travel while waiting for her green card. So, fans are wondering about her post that she's leaving? Perhaps she's just returning to Russia to visit her family? Fans are loving the Russian beauty. She's been vocal about her aspirations of becoming a wedding and party planner in the country. But it seems like she may soon find a different source of income based on her recent Instagram post. Julia posted a photo of her with a caption, "It finally came, I go Russia." One fan commented that she should make t-shirts featuring her iconic tagline from the show. Julia responded and said, "Soon." Does this mean she's working on new merchandise and profit off from her current popularity? If yes, then she'll be one of the 90-Day Fiancé stars who have been selling their own branded products, including Biniam Schreiber, Rosemary Vega, and Big Ed Brown. She didn't reveal anything else about possibly selling branded merchandise. She didn't say what she plans to sell or if she's selling anything. For now, fans just have to wait. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with 90-Day Fiancé right now. Come back here often. 90-Day Fiancé spoilers, news, and updates. 90-Day Fiancé couple Brandon Gibbs and Julia Trubkina appeared to be in some trouble relationship-wise on part 1 of the Season 6 tell-all for 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. So did Brandon and Julia break up, or are they still together? What do 90-Day Fiancé spoilers reveal about Brandon and Julia's relationship now? Brandon, a 27-year-old pest control technician who helps to run his parents' farm in Dinwiddie, Virginia, fell in love with Julia, a 26-year-old go-go club dancer from Krasnodar City, Russia, at first sight, and then flew to Russia to meet her. The pair dated for 5 months long distance, and then Brandon proposed marriage during a trip to Iceland. He then applied for a K-1 visa, and their love story began playing out on Season 8 of 90-Day Fiancé. When Julia first moved to America, she and Brandon experienced some growing pains. Julia, for instance, hated being forced to sleep in a separate bedroom from Brandon at his parents' home. Julia also didn't like how controlling Brandon's mother Betty seemed to be, and the fact she had been pushing for Julia to take birth control. Once she learned how to do chores on Brandon's family's farm in Virginia, Julia realized this wasn't her American dream, and she hated the lifestyle, such as feeding the pigs and waking up early every morning. Julia threatened to return to Russia multiple times, but she and Brandon still proceeded to plan their wedding amid the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Brandon worried about rushing into a marriage in April 2020, especially because Julia already threatened him with divorce during a fight, but he said he wasn't ready to give up on his relationship with Julia. On 90-Day Fiancé's Season 8 tell-all special, Julia revealed there were more roles in Brandon's parents' home than ever before, and she wants to be the boss in her own life. On the 6th season premiere of 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Brandon's father Ron said Brandon had become submissive to Julia's every whim, such as visiting Las Vegas. Ron joked that his son was whipped by Julia. After Brandon was offered a new higher-paying job, Julia suggested to Brandon they should move to Las Vegas, but Brandon laughed and said that wouldn't be realistic for them. Julia accused Brandon of not living up to his promises and was concerned Brandon may want the farm life forever. The pair ultimately agreed on moving to a smaller city of Richmond, Virginia, and Julia was happy to compromise. Julia said she wanted to start working and making money by maybe doing a designer job, but Brandon worried her broken English might hold her back from many job positions. Julia views my realistic view on things as pessimistic, but sometimes I think she's also just too much of a dreamer, and she may want to bump down her expectations, Brandon said. Julia's first interview for her green card then came around